You're not crazy, okay? This message is for somebody, and y'all know whenever I do these type of messages, I don't add no hashtags, so you're seeing it for a reason. Whether it relates to you or you just need to be seasoned on some facts. When you are a spiritual person, there's so much confusion, there's so much assumptions, there's so many things that comes along with that, and I'm itching my nose because I'm right on point with this. Everybody's spiritual journey looks so much different. Your walk with God is going to look so much different than the next person's. And a lot of the time, people will have religion without spirituality. So it'll be a base of religion, but they have no belief in all of God's amazing wonders and the things that he can do and the way that he works with and through people. So when you are a spiritual being and you don't identify with religion, let's get into the fact that Jesus was spiritual as well. People will look at you sideways when you start to dive into wanting to understand things a little bit more versus what was shoved down your throat. Remember, we're not here to be completely oblivious. We're not here to dim our light. We're not here to not utilize our God-given gifts. That's not why we're here. We're also not here to live in a fear-based mindset. And when you're somebody who you don't live in a fear-based mindset and you challenge that notion, that way of thinking to the core, not everybody's going to rock with you or get you. And they may start trying to think that you're crazy or you're just doing things that's just way too unorthodox for them. But you have to realize that is because people love to stay in their comfort zone. And when you start diving into understanding things on a whole nother level, understanding we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are not humans having a spiritual experience. So whenever anybody's facing any problem, you have to take that and, cleanse that out. Pray in the spiritual. Because we do not fight against flesh and blood. And a lot of the times, the people that will call you crazy are because, like I said, they are used to a certain way of doing things. They're in a specific comfort zone. So when you start going outside the lines of their religion or the things that they have been taught are okay, they start to look at you sideways. In reality, we are meant to utilize our intuition, utilize our God-given gifts, but also uncover those depths of ourselves in the world in general. And a lot of the times, those assumptions or whatever the case may be, or those labels come from people who have not done the knowledge, who have not done any extensive research when it comes to looking at certain literature, really exploring and open their mind to those different ways of thinking, right? Because even if you don't understand something or agree with it, we still are supposed to have a certain level of respect for people. This is why spirituality is not something we can just put into a box and say it needs to look like this, it needs to be like that. And this is why I always say the whole base of it is really focusing on your relationship with God, knowing your relationship with Most High, the Creator. It's not about what anyone thinks about you, how you're supposed to look, how you're supposed to dress. And that's why sometimes people look at you like you live in your own world. And this is why you will see a lot of people say that they believe in God, but they have no faith. And they have a lot of fear-based mindsets behind even diving into anything further than that. I say this to say again, you're not crazy. Your spiritual journey is your spiritual journey. You do not have to explain anything to anybody about your way of thinking and about your relationship with God. And see, that is the beauty of it. Because if you have God on your side, what can anyone do to you? And don't just think that it's just religious people either, because when I said that I was going to stop tarot and focus more so on my relationship with God, I had a lot of people that thought that meant that I was going to just go religious or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, no, I'm focusing on my relationship with God. It has nothing to do with a religion-based mindset. Those two things can exist. There's way too much to uncover in the world to put yourself in those parameters of the jurisdiction that they have tried to force on you to stay comfortable in when it comes down to your religion. This is why I do not claim anything. There is way too much to uncover, but I do know my relationship with God, and that is the most important. And I always say, do not let people who are still figuring themselves out judge you for your journey. And I was going to end it there, but I wanted to add this. I heard a great quote on Modern Family where he was literally like, some people see God in the church and some people see God in nature.